Yo, what is up? What is up? This is Caleb Borkman here, owner and founder of Dripfeed Nation, and I just wanted to come and talk to you a little bit today on a few things that I was just kind of thinking about here sitting in my car. Well, not sitting in my car, but I was driving. Anyways, just wanted to go over a few quick little topics here that I actually wrote down on my hand. This video is going to be great. It's going to be hella ADD'd out, but that's okay because we're freaking human. So, anyways, let's jump on into it. So, first and foremost, where this video kind of was inspired from, well, it was a multitude of things, but mostly it was kind of, and it always seems that it's this way actually, where I'm kind of in like just a normal depressed state of mind and that sort of thing, or just coming out of one of those, just happens every once in a while in every single entrepreneur's life and anybody's life, I guess you could say. And I always make a video, but I actually never, I don't think ever post it up unless it's rather like on Facebook, maybe like once or twice. But that's really it. And I kind of want to do a lot more of those because I know that it helps with that. And also, of course, I'm not only going to talk about depression, obviously. I'm not that type of person. I'm generally happy type of person, but it always just kind of is a trigger to be able to want to create a video and to want to kind of be able to just give back, because it's one of those things that I kind of just kind of enjoy doing, to be honest. And I'll actually be talking about that a little bit more here on one of my points. It's because video making is just kind of a hobby. I ain't got nothing to sell. Right now, if I do in the future, then I'll have to buy it. But rather than that, so first off, could kind of just jump on into it here. I don't want to take too much time. I'm kind of just rambling because I will ramble forever, being ADD like most people that I know. So whole entire topic on number one of fighting depression. So there's a bunch of different things that you can do with this, and a bunch of different ways that I've kind of thought of or tried out or tested during those times, because it's always that I don't know, it's kind of a weird, I'm not sure how to really explain it, but it's kind of one of those, once you come out of it, it's kind of one of those like feelings of, oh my gosh, like I'm kind of almost reborn type of things. And it's insane because you forget like how much work you're able to actually put in when you're not feeling this way, and how much like more you want to go do things, and more that you want to actually get out and talk to people and just all sorts of things. So I always kind of want to, or I always think now, like, what are actionable steps that I can rather get down in a video, or to be able to, write down somewhere, or because I've got a bunch of notes. I'm a note taker, by the way, but if you didn't know already, but whatever it may be in that sort of way. And one thing that I actually just used, I don't know, maybe like an hour and a half ago now, was getting uncomfortable. And with that, and I'll actually talk about it here in just a second with another point. Sorry, I don't mean to put my hand in front of the camera there. I forget where my phone camera is. And just used about an hour and a half ago, and it's getting uncomfortable. So what I did, and this may be different for guys and gals, of course. For me, I'm a dude who's like, kind of flamboyant almost. I guess so. I guess most would call me flamboyant, but just kind of a little bit all over the place. And for some odd reason, recently, just been super duper like, just completely all over the place, especially when talking to people. So much, in fact, that I'm not able to even like hold a conversation very well. And it's really weird. And I don't want to get too far deep into it because that could last for freaking, ever. How long I talk on that. So I'm not trying to, put all that in there. But, uh, anyways, so with that being said, sorry, I'm actually not going to be editing this video, by the way. I'm just going to leave it as it is. And again, this is both for me and for you. Hopefully this helps you. Again, like I said, I got an ADD mind. I got to freaking be able to focus. And that's one of the things I've been trying to figure out a lot more on, but that's beside the point. So, anyways, so yeah, just been kind of, trying to be able to figure out ways to be able to kind of communicate better and stuff like that. Because right now, or recently anyways, I've been like super duper awkward in the whole entire like talking just to people in general, especially to chicks, especially to cute or girls who I find anyways more attractive. And it's almost like horrid. But I've always had certain ways that I'm able to kind of like figure out, and one of those ways is just off the top of my head is kind of acting. The more flamboyant that I act, the more kind of open, I guess, that I become with that. And again, people are going to be like, "Oh, are you gay or whatever?" And no, I'm not. I'm not. But and it doesn't matter if you are or not. But still, you can just have that, that flame. But I know a lot of people who are like flamboyant as hell, but they're straight. So it doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, bisexual, whatever the hell you are. It doesn't matter. That's not a thing to me. I mean, I freaking live in Austin, Texas, and if you don't know what that's all about, it's like the capital of gayness and amazingness. So anyways, it's yeah. So that's that. But anyways, so yeah, that's one thing I've always noticed there. But again, that's kind of beside the point. So what I did, and just getting uncomfortable wise. So I guess I'll talk about it right now because I'm gonna mention it again here later. But what I did was actually had one of my buddies who I'm business partnered with. He was telling me a way that he kind of went about being able to talk to people more, being able to just kind of get out of the shell, I guess you could say. And because honestly, I'm usually not like a shy person. If you start talking to me and stuff, I'll like, especially if you're like, all about like getting, dancing and stuff like that. Oh my gosh, I'll freaking go crazy. But that's just who I am. So, but when I'm in a normal conversation, or just a conversation in general, if it's not something, I'm actually like, I know a lot about like business, then I'm like, ooh, what do I say? And I get super awkward. Like, I'm not sure what the hell is up, but anyways, so what I did today, an hour and a half ago, Jesus, I'll get to my point here, is that I went and went over to Lowe's, and I was going to get something, and he was like, dude, so what I started to do was just give compliments. Of course, be sincere about it. Don't try to sound like you're joking, but just, tell yourself to focus. Tell yourself it's okay if they freak out about it. It's okay if they're weirded out, whatever, but the whole entire thing is all you have to do is simply give a compliment and then let them talk. Let them talk and do talk about whatever. After that, if right after they get done talking, if you want to completely just stop talking overall, then that's okay. Just completely stop talking overall, right? So anyways, there's two girls. So one, she was decently attractive, I'm not going to lie. But she had like a necklace on that was like one of those jade stone type of things. And I just, was talking to her. She was actually at the cashier's once I was checking out. But I went by her once and asked her where like sandpaper was or something like that. I had to get some sandpaper. And I noticed it, but I did not say anything about it, right? So I was like, shoot, I've got to say something when I come back. And anyways, went to find sandpaper, and there was another girl, also pretty damn cute. San Marcos has a lot of cute girls. I was in San Marcos, by the way. I was in Austin. I had to go to San Marcos. If you don't know where that is, it doesn't really matter. But That's beside the point. She was cute as well. So I was like, shoot. I asked her where the sandpaper was because I was in the aisle where the other person had pointed me to, the other girl. And anyways, and she was like, yeah, it's over here, over here. And I was like, shoot, she's cute as well. I've got to say something. And I freaking, again, I was like, damn it. I've done this twice now. And the same exact, like, not even 5 minutes, I noticed, like, shit, I've done this twice now. I've not said anything and just like complimented, just on something, just notice something and compliment on it. Be a genuine compliment. It's all you got to do. Just as simple as that. It's a simple little thing. So I was like, shit. I mean, shoot. And anyways, so yeah, I went and found the sandpaper, and I didn't see that second girl again. So I was like, dang it, I have to, before I leave, I must make myself freaking say something about that jade necklace that I seen. And yeah, so I went to the cashier, back to the cashier's place, and went to the same cashier. It was like the self checkout, so it wasn't too weird that I came back to the same cashier. It wouldn't have been weird anyways. But anyways, went to the self checkout, seen that girl again. It was like, I did it. I was so proud of myself. I was like, hey, by the way, where did you get that necklace at? Or I mean, I was like, oh no, that's not what I said. I'm trying to, yeah. So I said, hey, by the way, I like your necklace. Where'd you get that at? And I just let her talk. Just let her talk. That was all I'm pretty sure that's all I said. Um, but yeah, she said that it was from like Mexico, and one of her friends got it for her, and she's not sure what it is, and all blah 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 blah, and not blah blah blah. But anyways, she said a bunch of stuff, and I was like, I just seen her like her eyes brighten up. It was absolutely insane how much just a simple compliment, that's all I freaking said. Just a simple compliment was able to brighten her eyes up. Get her into a state of like, oh my gosh, or get her into a state of like, oh wow, this person is, pretty. Oh wow, they asked me about this. What am I trying to say? Yeah, they asked me about this. Oh my gosh, that's really cool. I'm gonna talk to this person. That it's just so weird to think about it now and kind of reminisce back on what it was. But I know it may sound super simple, and it may sound like it's nothing crazy, and it's not really, honestly. But one, I didn't die. Two, I know that a lot of freaking people, especially dudes, of course I'm not a chick, so I don't know if chicks have the same thing, but especially dudes, have a lot of problems with being awkward and being like, not being able to just conversate, and stuff like that. And we didn't end up actually having like a full blown conversation. After she said that, after she spoke for like literally 2 minutes on it, I was kind of listening. I was like, oh wow, that's cool. That's and I don't even remember what I said, but I think I was just like, because I was already checking out and stuff like that. So I was just like, that's literally all that happened. But again, just that right there, like immediately, like I hadn't wanted to talk to really anybody for like a month, not that long, but it's been a little while, like 2 weeks or something like that, that I've just kind of been like in a weird state, and just that immediately right there, just instantly like confidence boosted the hell out of me. So that was immense. But also as well, on that point as well, I want to bring up the fact that I'm getting into real estate now. And I need to be able to like conversate with people. I need to be able to have discussions to be able to build rapport. And I mean, obviously, I just don't want to like think of it in that way. Like I have to do it because of that. But again, if that's what needs to be done or needs to be thought of, then freaking think of that. Whatever your why may be in your own certain situation, freaking think of that. I don't know if it will help you, but it helped me. Again, you can test it out, and genuinely test it. When I've always noticed, like with a lot of people, when they want to go do something, they may like try it once, and then never try it again because it didn't work. Well, that's not how things work. You got to be able to test it out in ways, or in multiple different ways that you find, and just find them as you go along. You may not have 13 tests that you can try at, written down at the very first before you even start. No, that doesn't matter. Start with one, right? Start with the first test. Go research it up, whatever the heck it may be, and just start testing it out. So anyways, to get back on topic here, again, I've already went 15 minutes in, and like I said, way off topic. But also another huge thing with depression, and actually I kind of already like took down all my other points, but just with that, so this video is not going to be too much longer. But anyways, another thing with fighting depression that I've really figured out as well, is like going and doing things that you enjoy. So with that, I mean, I was kind of thinking, like, what do I actually like enjoy doing? What is actually those things that kind of like, oh my gosh, I could like do this all day long. And just, it brings me so much joy in my life, or it brings me so much joy in the moment. And it just kind of refreshes me for later, like for later in business, or just life in general, or whatever it may be. And, well, one of the things actually doing right now. So I've noticed that every single time I ever get on a video, it's almost insane. It's like an almost like instantaneous, and it's not really just a video, but I mean a video, rather talking with myself, rather being able to help somebody out, especially, and that's freaking awesome. Again, I'm not like one of those, help somebody out for free and all this type of jazz. Obviously, it's free right now because I don't have anything to sell. But later in the future, I'll probably have courses already planned, or already thought about doing that before, just like a lot of people. But again, so I'm not saying like I'm just going to give out information for free all the time. No, but again, this is, like I just said right here, this is fun for me. This is something that, may help myself be able to fight off depressed state, or if I just have one of those days where I'm just like, I just want to make a video, I just want to talk on something, something I see questions wise, something I see people talking about, whatever the heck it may be. And also, again, actually I'll be I know it's already getting pretty long here, but actually there's one other thing I want to say on that, and I'm actually going to skip my second one here, which is focusing and staying on task, literally telling myself to be able to sit down and focus on one thing. But I'll get to that in another video. Again, I don't want this too long, but I do want to wrap it up with this and kind of bring in the fact of like, hey, you got to keep in mind that, one, you're going to kick yourself now, like after the fact, if you didn't do something that you thought of, that you thought you wanted to do, and you don't do it. And then later on, you'll think about like, oh my gosh, I should have done that. Why the heck didn't I do that? And after a few of those times, because I've went through this, after a few of those times, or of course I remember doing this anyways, after a few of those times of doing that, you will kind of just like start to notice that or you may not notice, but hopefully you do, and then you do something about it, you'll notice that your brain kind of, or that you're able to kind of just like, brush it off a lot easier than it was the last time. So you won't maybe kick yourself as much once you don't do it this time, and that's bad. That's very, very bad. And I've noticed that I've kind of, because you kind of get like used to just kind of like brushing it off. And then like you don't kick yourself as hard because you gotten used to brushing it off, whatever you don't want to do, because it may make you feel uncomfortable, and that sucks, because that's one of those things that is like, it's like one of those bad habits that you build up, and it's just hard as shit. I don't want to cuss too much, but hard to freaking break. It just makes it more and more difficult every single time, and until it's one of those things that, you'll be trying to break, and then you'll be like, why is this so damn hard? It's because of the fact that you've done it so many times, you've done the bad habit so many times that you aren't able to freaking like break it now, that you aren't able to kind of get yourself over that hump anymore. You still are. Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say you aren't able to, but you feel like sorry, excuse me. You feel like you aren't able to, right? You are still able to. Don't get me wrong. Don't think of it that way. That's a very bad way to think about it. I'm sorry that I said that. I apologize. But because you are able to freaking make it happen, it's just going to be that much more harder. But again, you will feel so freaking much. I promise you that you will feel so damn much better once you do break whatever bad habit it is. So if it's something you want to do, like going and talking to a chick, or going and maybe starting a business, or maybe just simple something in life that you're trying to do, like starting to work out or something like that, I don't know, whatever it is for you, just literally copy and paste it into whatever the thing that it is that you're trying to do in your life, what I just said, and take that and do something with it, make it freaking happen. So one, you're going to kick yourself, like I said. Two, even worse, you're going to regret at the end of, at the end of your life, I guess, because again, we're all going to die. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Again, I always like to, I have my own thoughts on that. Like, I'm not trying to ever be morbid with it, but hey, we're all going to die. So, you might as well just let yourself go into the dark place. Think, hey, I'm going to die one day. So let's make the best of what we freaking got. Because again, you have to remember that you need to be grateful as you can be. Of course, you don't want it to, affect you like negatively, but be grateful that your mind, you're able to actually think, you're able to actually like have thoughts for yourself. Some people aren't able to do that. Some people don't have things that you do. Some people don't have an iPhone. Some people don't have a big ass house. Some people don't have a car to be able to drive themselves around. Some people don't have computers, and whatever it may be. And I'm not trying to say that as in like, oh, because they don't have it, you need to be grateful and help them. But of course, I'm not saying that helping them is bad. No, hell no. If you want to help them, of course help them. But that's totally fine. But you can't think of it as in like, oh, because they don't have these things, have these things, then you will, feel bad for them or something like that. No, you can't think of it that way. It's just that you have to be grateful that you are able to think, you are able to think for yourself, and therefore you freaking must. It must be a must that you are freaking making yourself go and do the things that you've always wanted to do, because you can. You have the choice. It is your freaking choice to do so. And I don't want to get this, I don't want to go with this a motivational type of way or anything like that, because I'm not a big fan of all that. I always think like actionable steps and skill sets that you can learn. But at the same time, that's a part of the skill set. It's like you've got to be able to remember that you have these things, you have the means to be able to do so. So freaking don't let it go. Don't let yourself just go and do whatever it may be because you don't want to do, something that or you must do. And if you don't really want to do it, then that's fine. But just remember that if you don't do it, you can't complain. You can't complain that, you don't have, what you want. You don't have the car, you don't have the, you don't have the house, you don't have the money, you don't have whatever it may be, financial freedom, whatever it is, you just won't have it. So again, I'm not trying to like pressure anybody into it. Of course, if you don't want to do it, then you don't want to do it, but you got to live with the knowledge, or the knowing, I guess you can say, that it will never come to you what you actually want to do with your life. So again, there's a few more things that I have right here down on my hand, but again, I don't want it to make it too long of a video. This is kind of like a I don't know, what is this, like a vlog, I guess, vlog or whatever, vlog, vlog, maybe, I don't really know if that's what it is, but I don't want to spend too much time on doing videos. Of course, I mean I will obviously because I enjoy doing them, but I'm not trying to spend like a ton of time editing and all that type of jazz because that just gets it just gets overabundant for me, and I'm the easier it can be for me, the easier, the simpler, the better. So I'm trying to always make things simpler and easier because they don't need to be complex. There's no reason to. Um, for most things anyways. But anyway, so yeah, that is all I've got, and I will see you later. This has been Caleb. Deuces out.